So, a lot of you guys have been asking, Andrew, where are you racing at this summer? Where can I catch a race where I can see you in person? Guys, don't worry. Today in this video, I'm going to go over everything, like my whole season, where you can catch me on the track in person. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give general information about each track, a little bit of history on it, and my final thoughts on what track we're racing at for the season. Also, if you guys need a better understanding on what we're racing at or like a full schedule, I have a full list of our schedule that we will be racing at this year, so go check it out on my website. So let's get into it. So currently we have a 9-race schedule with 5 being televised on Racing America, and starting off at number 1 is the Birch Speedway located in Mason, Michigan. This 1/4 of a mile bull ring has seen years of racing, whether it be late models all the way up to sprint cars to street stocks to you name it, it's ran it. It used to host a non-wing 410 series back in it as a weekly show that went debunked in the mid-2010s because of low car count, but this year the Must-See Racing Midwest Lights will kick off their 2024 season here at this inaugural race of the Birch Speedway. I ran here 2 weeks ago with the Tri-State Sprint Series, so I got a pretty good feel for the track. Pack your bags, ladies and gentlemen, because the next day of June 22nd, we will be at the Owasso Speedway for Race 2 on the calendar. I have been dying to get a win here ever since for last year. We ran here twice for the 2023 season. I finished 3rd in the first race and 2nd in the second race. The track itself has seen changes after changes over its course of its year history, but since the 1980s, this track, being a 3/8 of a mile with tight turns and long straightaways, it hasn't really changed in layout ever since. But after this repave, it's pretty much all the way been a bottom groove track. In the past, it's been top groove, but I've tried there the first race and I just couldn't get it to work. It'll be interesting to go back next year to see if the top groove will actually work or come in. Race number 3. Birch Run Speedway. This track, we will not be racing at the big oval, the 7/16 of a mile. We will actually be racing on the 1/4 mile infield oval, which is the original configuration ever since the track was built in 1948. Anyways, this 1/4 of a mile bullring configuration that you're seeing on the screen right now, this track is your typical 1/4 of a mile infield oval. It's flat, one groove, tires are tempting to hit, and you're just trying to squeeze every bit of speed you can out of this small flat track. We did run a 2-day show here last year, which was a doubleheader running both configurations for the American Speed US Nationals. Unfortunately, Birch Run will be hosting one event for this season, so that includes running the small oval for the Must-See Racing Midwest Lights. This is going to be a redemption race for me as I finished 2nd here last season, so hopefully we can get the dub this year, boys. Race number 4 will be at the Sandusky Speedway in Sandusky, Ohio, and this is our 2nd newest track added to the 2024 season. This track is most famous for its super modified races and the High Miler, which will be running on a Wednesday night for our series, the weekend of the High Miler. We did run here 2 years ago for the Cavalcade for 2022 as a 2-day show, and I actually ended up winning the first night, so I feel pretty comfortable at this track. Race number 5, Midvale Speedway. So here's the thing. I've never heard of this track until this year. So some general information, this is a 3/8 of a mile hot dog shaped track, tight turns, long straightaways. The Must-See Racing 410 series raced here in its past and took a little bit of a hiatus around COVID times, but now the Midwest Lights will make its return as Must-See Racing as a whole, and we'll be racing here as our 5th race of the season. It will be a track I'll have to figure out by myself. Race number 6, Lorain Raceway Park. I'm just going to be real with y'all. I do not like this track. It's old, it's rough, the banking is weird, and it's just overall not my cup of tea of a racetrack. However, I did get a win here last year with the Bob Frey Classic, and that being the first race of that season, but that doesn't mean my tolerance is gone high with this track. I still don't like it as a person. Crate sprints have been a tradition here for years, and it's still consistently going strong with the Must-See Racing Midwest Lights going back here every year to keep that tradition going strong. I won here once, I can do it again, I know how to run it. This will be interesting to go back here and see what Lorain has in store for us. Races 7 through 9 are just secondary races we have for previous tracks. Race 7 will be back at Owasso for the 2nd time this season. This second race at Owasso is going to be a redemption race, as last year I had it in the bag until a late race caution ended up killing my chances, and I got passed on the restart, and it was just settled for second ever since there. So definitely looking to get a win here at the second race. Race number 8 will be back at Lorain Raceway Park for the second to last race for our season. Traditionally, Lorain was the last race of the season where we would crown the championship and the last race winner, but that got moved back to the second to last race to make room for race 9, which will be back at the Sandusky Speedway, where we will eventually crown the 2024 Muskie Racing Midwest Lights champion. Hopefully that will be us. So yeah, that's our 2024 season. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. What tracks do you like? What tracks do you don't like? What tracks can you make it out to? But other than that, we'll see you all in the next video, and see you all at the races. God bless.